So our message today is an attitude of gratitude. And that's what we'll be singing and talking about, very much in alignment with your prayer and talking a bit about trust and faith as well. So almost everybody here is seeing this on a Sunday. By the way, we have something very much in common with Kathy. Today was her first day to do this. And today's our first day to do this here. So, okay, good, okay. Hit it, honey. You've just entered a place of love, a dimension beyond time, a dimension beyond space. For you have entered the unity zone. And here in the unity zone, we follow a different set of phenomena than the common folk. In the common world, they are taught that if you have something and you share it and you give it away, you end up with less. But we in the unity zone know that if you have something and you share it and you give it away, you end up with more. Spoken like true unitics. That's what we call you behind your backs. Kind of like an ancient Aboriginal tool. Does anybody know what an ancient Aboriginal tool? There just happens to be one right here on the altar. An ancient Aboriginal tool known as the boomerang. Now, a boomerang is ideally supposed to go out and come back. What do you call it if it doesn't come back? A stick, or lost, or broken. However, spiritual law is never lost. Spiritual law is never broken. And spiritual law is never a stick. It's always a boomerang. What we put out comes back to us. And when I first really learned that, I got scared. Because I looked at my life and I went, oh my God, I must have put some horrible stuff out. Because a lot of horrible stuff has come back. And I'm going to ease some of your guilt and shame right now. Just because everything we put out comes back to us does not mean that everything that is happening in our lives is a result of something we put out. Can I get a whoosh? I'm going to make it as simple as possible, because to believe that everything that has happened to you is because you did something good or bad is very shame and guilt producing. Who's ever felt some shame and guilt about not doing things right? And unity is not about that. It's about lifting you up. So I'm going to give you a very simple example that came to my brain the other day. Imagine that your dog has to go to the bathroom, and you let your dog out, and then you don't watch the dog, and he goes right in your driveway. And later on that day, you didn't notice it, and you stepped in it. That's because of something you did. Yes, that is. But if your neighbor's dog comes and does that in your driveway and you step in it, you can't go, oh, I must have thought crappy thoughts because I attracted the neighbor to think about that. What did you see how we get into those loops of shaming ourselves and feeling bad? There are 7 other billion co-creators on this planet. You're not in charge of all of them. And they do some stuff that comes into your life not because you did something wrong. Yes, everything we put out comes back to us, but not everything that shows up is a result of us by ourselves. We are co-creating with everyone else. So we get to let some of that go. So, good news and bad news. The good news is the boomerang principle works with money, love, and kindness. The bad news is the boomerang principle works with anger and judgment and resentment. What we put out comes back to us. Now, there's a little bit of a misnomer in what we put out comes back, because there is no out and back. There's only oneness. So we're really not putting anything out. We're putting something in our world. And so as John Lennon says, instant karma. Okay, we're putting something out in our world because we are one with God and we are one with all of it. So as we give and receive, they're all together. Okay, and so we're going to sing a song now called Love is a Boomerang, which to me sums up the law of attraction in 4 simple words. Love is a boomerang.
Love is a boomerang.
Everybody sing with me.
Love is a boomerang.
You give it away and it comes right back.
Love is a boomerang.
Hear the words that set you free.
Love is a boomerang.
You give it away and it comes right back.
Love is a boomerang. Love is a boomerang.
You give it away and it comes right back.
Love is a boomerang.
Hear the words that set you free.
Love is a boomerang.
You give it away and it comes right back. Give it, listen everybody, to what's burning in my soul. Here's something you can use, gonna make you healthy, safe, and whole. You can read it in the Bible, it's in the golden rule. You don't need to go to the land down under to find this magic tool, because
love is a boomerang.
So is money, so is kindness.
Love is a boomerang.
Ha! You give it away, it's gonna come right back.
Love is a boomerang.
So is anger, so is judgment.
Love is a boomerang.
Give it away and it comes right back. When you wake up in the morning, try a different attitude. Instead of drinking just coffee, fill yourself with gratitude. Try loving everything you see, it'll change the way you live. There ain't no way to outgive God, I guarantee you this, because
love is a boomerang.
So is money, so is kindness.
Love is a boomerang.
Ha! You give it away, it's gonna come right back.
Love is a boomerang.
So is anger, so is judgment.
Love is a boomerang.
Give it away, it's gonna come right back.
Love is a boomerang.
I feel the power in the house today.
Love is a boomerang.
You give it away, it's gonna come right back.
Love is a boomerang.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Oh yeah?
Love is a boomerang.
Help me, Jesus. Woo!
Love is a boomerang.
So is money, so is kindness.
Love is a boomerang.
Give it away, it's gonna come right back.
Love is a boomerang.
So is anger, so is judgment.
Love is a boomerang.
Give it away, it's gonna come right back. Live it away, it's gonna come right back. Can I give it away? It's gonna come right back.
All right.
I feel the power in the house today. See, I grew up in Louisiana. I'm a Cajun, Italian, Frenchman. My favorite food, crawfish lasagna. Anyway, Angelina and I were both born Catholic. Actually, we're still 3/4 Catholic. Found our way into unity, and one of my travels into unity, most of us found our way into unity through a lot of different paths. And guess what? Every one of them was right at the time for you and divine. And I picked up some things along the way from each of them. And one of the things I picked up was in Pentecostalism. I was a Pentecostal. Yes, I was preaching at 11 years old to all my non-Pentecostal friends so I could help them get on the right path. We've all been there before. Self-righteousness. It's not just for breakfast anymore. But one of the things that I loved about Pentecostalism, there were 2 things that I really loved. One of them was they taught me that spirituality was not an hour on Sunday. It was a lifetime commitment 24/7 to Spirit, God, and each other. They didn't teach me about the self part. Unity taught me about that. But they said to God and each other 24/7. And when I found Unity in 1984, it was the same kind of thing. This is a spiritual philosophy of life, practical Christianity, something that you don't use just on Sunday morning. You use all throughout your life. And if you've been through the great pause, like we all have the last couple of years, we had to use our spiritual tools more than ever. We talked about that last night, more than ever. And that's what's beautiful about unity. The other thing that I loved about Pentecostalism was the enthusiasm on Sunday. It was exciting. And I thought, when I got into unity, maybe one day I can incorporate the two. I can weave them together. I can become a New Thought evangelist. Brothers and sisters of the congregation, we are here today to raise consciousness. For there are really only two things that we need to be concerned about emotionally. The all-encompassing, greatest thing of all, love. The emotion of love. And its perceived opposite, fear. When you're in a state of love, it's a heavenly experience. But when you're in a state of fear, it's like being in hell. Now, first time here at Unity, we don't believe in a place called hell, Olivia. So don't worry about it. Unity does not believe in hell. But we do believe in a virtual hell. And that's the hell of fear-based thinking. And it's a fiery pit. By the way, you will never hear fiery pit on the stage. Ever again. Who's ever been in the fiery pit of fear-based thinking? Woo! So we can let that go. Angelina and I came today for one purpose, and one purpose only, and that is to love the hell out of you. And what? Thank you. Glory. And one of the ways we are going to love the hell out of you is Angelina is going to sing to you and speak to you. So do your thing.
I think first we should talk about gratitude, right? And so, I like to wake up in the morning and say, thank you, God, for this glorious day, and I'm grateful for this, and I just say all the things I'm grateful for. That just starts my day feeling joy and love and all that. And then I like to end my day that I got from Alan Cohen, who is a speaker and a writer. One of his books is Am I as Happy as My Dog? And he said he likes to, when he goes before he lies down before he goes to sleep, he reflects on the day and finds all those joyous moments of the day. And I find that's a really good way to end your day as well. And then I think Armand has a thing that when you do two.
Yes. What came to me one day was it's impossible to keep all of your thoughts and actions and words pure. Who's tried? It's just impossible. And guess what? We don't need to. My mom used to say this to me. She said, son, please quit trying to be perfect. It's demoralizing. Just shoot for excellence.
It's also exhausting.
Yes, as my other perfectionist partner, that's what we attracted to. I'm trying to be perfect in different ways than she is. She's done a lot better job of it. I'm sorry. But anyway, we don't have to be perfect. And one of the tools I got from Spirit that really helps me is each time you say or think something negative, which brings you, it lowers your vibration and your consciousness, I will admit that. Just say or think two things positive around the same subject. Now, I call this a gratitouille. Rise with Ratatouille, one of our favorite movies. Gratitouille is do two things you're grateful for around the thing you just whined about. Okay? You know what Angelina's favorite whine is? When are we going home? Because we used to be on the road 270 days a year. Now, that whine went away during COVID. Right. Now she was like, when are we getting back out on the road? Yeah, she changed it. But, and so, let's say you say something like, oh, I can't believe that driver that just cut me off in that traffic circle is such a jerk. By the way, love your traffic circles. Not. Anyway, they're everywhere. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure them out. I realize this. You can't wait until it's safe.
You'll be there forever.
You just can't. You can't. You just got to go and pray, A lot of praying in them traffic circles. I think traffic circles brings people closer to God.
If I were driving, I'd still be back.
We'd still be back there, yeah. And so I can't believe that jerk just cut me off. And then you go, oh, that didn't feel good to think that. My vibration went down. And I'm grateful that he didn't hit me. And I'm grateful that I'm not in a car with her. Do you see what you've just done? You took one step back in consciousness and 2 steps forward. You're actually farther in consciousness than you were before you complained. That is our job. We got any bowlers out here? We are big bowlers. We haven't done a whole lot of it since COVID, but you don't have to get the strikes, folks. You get infinite amount of balls to pick up the spares in life. God gives you, it's not just 2. God gives you as many. You don't get a strike, you miss a few pins, pick them up. You think negative thoughts, you hold judgments and resentments about people, especially your family members. You know what a family reunion is? It's an opportunity to bring a covered dish and an unresolved resentment. Guess what? You get to release some of it. You get to pick up those spares. Here's how you know you've done all your forgiveness work. You'll be dead. There's always more forgiveness work to do, and it's fine. We're not here to get it perfect. We're here to practice it.
And there's growth in that.
And growth in that, yes. Where does good judgment come from? From experience. Where does experience come from? Bad judgment. Do you see? Even bad judgment serves you. We try not to say we did something wrong, because wrong has a thing about it that we should have done something different. And I promise you, if you've done something, you couldn't have done something different at that point. You can do something different in the future because of what you learned. So Angelina and I, we've replaced the word wrong to oops. I did an oops. You know, an oops feels better to the psyche. That feels better to the inner child. It's an oops. Yeah, we miss the mark sometimes. We're not perfectly skillful all the time. It's time to lighten up on ourselves. It's called enlightenment, not enheavyment. Right? Lighten up on ourselves. So we were in Sedona. Angelina was having one of her particularly happy gratitude moments. She talked about it last night. She calls it giddy bliss. Giddy bliss is when you're all happy and feeling extra good for no particular reason. You just feel it. And part of what was, we were on tour. We were in Arizona. We were in Sedona. We were performing in the area. She's playing on her guitar, and for some reason she started playing Beethoven's Ode to Joy. And she said, I feel so grateful today. And I go, why? She goes, I don't know. I just do. I said, well, why don't you sing about it? She goes, well, I've never sung a song. I've never written a song. I said, oh my God, you're so lucky. She goes, why? I go, because you're exactly in the position that everyone that ever did anything great was in. They hadn't done it before. So just do it. Start singing to what you're doing. And this is what she came up with.
I am grateful, oh, so grateful for the blessings in my life. I am grateful, oh, so grateful for the blessings in my life. I am grateful, oh, so grateful for the blessings in my life. I am grateful, oh, so grateful for the blessings in my life. Thank you, Spirit, oh great Spirit, omnipresent in all things. I am grateful, oh so grateful for the blessings in my life. Thank you, Spirit, oh great Spirit, omnipresent in all things. I am grateful, oh so grateful for the blessings in my life. I am grateful, oh so grateful. You are a blessing in
Big Disney ending.
my
Why? Because we love you.
life. Thank you. Well, I want to tell a little story that happened.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass., and visit us online at unityoncapecod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.